Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Mars Phone Bouncy. I hope everybody's doing okay. We're going to carry on with our exploration of Cydonia. We've more or less done the northern parts of the map. There is still one or two little things I want to go over, but I'd like to just concentrate on the middle part today and one or two of the mesas that are here. Okay, and just give you my explanation for what I think we're looking at. I just want to concentrate on this feature for the moment, and it's called a skull because of obvious reasons. It looks like a skull. Just another, according to NASA, just another coincidence, a natural geological formation that happens to look like a skull, the way the face mesa happens to look like a face. Okay, it's not natural random geological formation, it's a sculpture. And when we first look at this feature, we can naturally see a skull, but what the vast majority of people don't realise is that this isn't just a single skull. There's a lot more to it than just a single image of a skull. It's actually two skulls. Okay, anyone who's been following my channel will know that this culture that once existed here built a lot of their structures with the duality in mind. Okay, and it's no different for this. It's actually two skulls together. In the upright position like this, we can see one skull. You've got the two eye sockets, left and right, and then you've got the nose, which is, as you notice, is not straight, but is pointing in this direction. Okay, and then you've got the teeth and the general oval shape of the structure. But if we just draw a line down the centre here, in fact we'll go to there, we can now see, if you just look to the right hand side, that there's another skull feature here. Can you see that? So we've got the left socket there, we've got the right, we've got the nose, and then we've got the mouth. Okay, so it's two skulls in one, a duality, a contour variety that this culture like to produce in its images, because it's basically part of the story that I've been narrating about these structures. And what we're basically seeing here is a symbolic representation of Osiris, like the face is Osiris. Okay, and the skull is a symbolic representation of the death of Osiris here. Please bear with me, I know it's the usual, it's my god, you must be crazy, but I can assure you I'm not. I believe in a scientific principle and scientific theory. This is just my hypothesis about what we're looking at here, and the nearest analogies I can find are those based in Egyptian mythology, and they match some of the things I've discovered perfectly. Okay, so we've got the skull representing the death of Osiris, or one aspect of his death. I'll go into that in more detail. Now, just let me reduce that. Okay, and go to this image. Okay, so this is the skull in an upright position with the top of the skull pointing north. Okay, and to see the true effect of the two separate skulls, all we've got to do is move them slightly to the right or to the left, say about 20 degrees. Okay, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'll do it here. So we'll go to arbitrary. So if we go counterclockwise, which will move us to the right, and put 20 degrees in, click it, okay? And what we actually have now is the skull looking down, okay? Looking down to the southeast, to the east, southeast, right? And this is why we've got a duality here, because we've got two skulls looking in different directions. So if I just do that line tool here and just put it down the center, okay? And this skull now, which you've got to concentrate on, is looking downwards, and you can even see the way the body is tilted. It's purposely being designed to give this impression of looking down in this direction, and it's looking down in that direction for a reason, which I will have to do. I'll have to show you in another video. But this particular direction is very, very important. Now, just let me come out of that. Now, if we do the opposite and move it 20 degrees to our left, we can now see that this nose is straight. Okay, it's not at an angle anymore. It's straight, and we can see this structure here. Possibly a road, or it's possibly a bridge here. But if you have a look at where the nose is orientated, it can also be construed as some kind of mouth, yeah, to align itself with the left hand side of the skull. Yeah, can you see that? So we've got two skulls in one, and this is now looking to the south, okay, and it's looking to the south for a reason again, but I've got to show you that in a different video. I can't fit it all in this one. I just want to show you the physical characteristics of this. It's not just a single skull-like feature, it's actually two separate ones, okay? People don't seem to have picked up on that for whatever reason, but as you can see, it's quite obvious. Okay, so if we go back to the center again, we're looking at a single skull, but with a form of duality. So we've got one skull looking to our left, and we've got one skull looking to our right. So one's looking down to the south and one's looking southeast. Okay, now just let me go to Adobe Photoshop, okay, because I make lines on this, you see. Now, one of the most amazing things about this, right, that's interesting enough, the fact that we're looking at two skulls, we were looking in different directions, okay, but for me, one of the most amazing facts or physical characteristics of this image is the fact that if you look at this, just follow the hand, if you look at it very, very carefully, what do you see here? If you follow the hand round, what's the shape? It's a heart, isn't it? You have a look at that, it's a heart shape. Perfect depiction of what can only be a human heart. Yeah, and it's broken up slightly here. That's the only break in the shape. You can see where it comes round the neck, and then it comes round this way, yeah, and then comes down, and then it's broken here a little tiny bit, but then it carries on into the heart shape. Now, this may or may not be a representation of Canis Major, which I have described in another video, because Osiris is often depicted with a dog or a wolf, yeah, in life, and I have shown you on one of my previous videos. and where we can see his helmeted face, and if you draw a line down the centre on the left hand side you can see a dog or a wolf, which I think represents Canis Major. Okay, yeah, the constellation of Canis Major. Now this could be a dog, the eye and the muzzle, and it's it's opposite this here. It may just be a coincidence, I don't know. It's a little bit objective, that, but the main thing is that we're looking at two skulls, two visages, we're looking at a duality, and they're both looking in separate directions, and we've got a platform here beneath it in the shape of a heart. I hope you can see that. And the other amazing aspect of this image is this here, the circular feature, and this wall, and this particular shape here. Now, one or two independent researchers have speculated that it's a collapsed tetrahedral pyramid, and etc. But it's not. It's nothing to do with that whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. Okay, in Egyptian mythology, when a pharaoh dies or a person dies, everything is usually removed, all the internal organs, the brain and everything, except for the heart. The heart is normally left because the ancient Egyptians used to think that the seat of a person's intelligence and the very soul of that person resided in the heart. So I think the heart was normally left in the body. But when that person died, he went on a journey to the underworld, okay, to Amante or Paradise or the Fields of Elysium, whatever you want to call it. And as part of his journey, they often had to face trials and tribulations, okay, in the underworld, to get to Paradise. But one of the trials that they had to endure was the weighing of the heart. So there used to be a set of scales overseen by Osiris, and the person's heart was placed on a set of scales, and it was weighed against a feather, okay, and I think it was the feather of Mat, the feather of justice and stuff like that. And if your heart weighed more than the feather, it meant that you were full of sin, and that you weren't worthy to travel to the Paradise. And there was usually a mythical god called Sobek, S-O-B-E-K, and he ate the heart of the sinful person so that you truly died and you'd never be resurrected. But if your heart was lighter than the feather, then it meant that you had no sin in your heart, and you were a good person, and you were allowed to travel on and be resurrected, reborn in Paradise, and live forever in this glorious afterlife. Okay, so what some Egyptians did with the bodies of the deceased, they placed a rosette over the heart, and sometimes it was in the shape of a scarab beetle, and sometimes it was just another motif like a rosette, and it was placed over the heart of the deceased, and as a form of trying to hide the heart, trying to hide the sin inside the heart. So it become like a tradition to do that, apparently. So the rosette was placed over the heart to hide the sin within the heart. So it may be impossible to. A lot of contradictions in Egyptian mythology, but anyway, that's the gist of it. And what I'm surmising, hypothesizing if you like, is that here we have the deceased Osiris, a representation of the deceased Osiris, and we've got the double skull, one looking south, one looking southeast. Is the heart, which you can clearly see. I mean, I haven't done anything to this, I'm just showing you. This is an original image. I haven't changed the color or anything, but I will show you also a different color in a minute. And you can see the heart shape, and I'm saying that this represents a rosette over the center of the heart. Yeah, and I've just described the nearest analogy I can make that's found within Egyptian mythology, hiding the sins of the heart with the rosette, and that's what I think that is. Okay. And I'll just and it's got another interesting feature here. I don't know whether you can see it. I mean, these aren't small, by the way. From here to here is it's a kilometer. It's about a kilometer in length from there. Okay, so I mean we're talking big objects, structures. But if you look very carefully, right, you can actually see a massive sculpture of a face here. Can you see it? Just let me get me pencil tool. We've got one eye, two eye. It's got a big nose there, and then is the mouth, and there's a big entrance here. I don't know if you can see that. And then these are walls here. Can you see that? So if you were, say, starting here, you could walk in this direction into the entrance of this massive face-like structure, and that's like square on the top. Okay, and it's actually sort of a diamond shape. Can you see that? Like a diamond shape. Okay, just let me come out of that. Right, so that is the rosette there. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see it? Massive sculpture. I think I've done that in a different colour. Just let me see if I can find it. Yeah. I'll just open it in Adobe. Actual screen. So can you see it now? So in the rosette, which is on the centre of the heart, we've got this huge artificial structure in the shape of a face, and you can see the eyes, the nose, and there is a massive entrance. Can you see that? I'll just go right up to it. It's like a big massive square entrance, which is quite usual for these type of structures. And if you were going to worship there, you could just walk straight into this structure. That may even be the entrance way into this. I don't know. Okay, and all these here, everything here are buildings. They're not problems, artifacts or noise with the image. If you stop the video and look at them very, you can actually see different shapes of buildings and roads, and it's amazing, honestly. And obviously that's a good indication of artificiality, this face here. And you can see that it's a diamond shape, okay, which is quite unusual in nature. Okay, and you can see a good view of the skull here. Can you see that? The secondary skull looking to the southeast, and that represents a part of the narrative that I'm trying to get across, that these are artificial structures. Okay, so it's only a short video, this, guys, because I'm gonna do each one a little bit shorter, just to get across the fact that these aren't natural geological formations in any shape or form, and there's usually a lot more to the image than meets the eye. Okay, I mean, people just look at the image and go, oh yeah, it looks like a skull, but you've got to really look at these features. You can't just do a quick, you've got to analyse it, okay? And if you have a look here, you can see the skull, and you can see when I've moved it 20 degrees forward, it's looking down this way. Can you see that? It's looking down this way. It's been so cleverly designed. So even though that's flat, they've shaped it in such a way that it looks as if it's hanging down and looking downwards. They were absolute geniuses of design. And if you'd have a look at this, just let me open this with Adobe. If you have a look at this mesa, what can you see? You can see another face clearly. So although it's flat, obviously it's flat, it's designed in such a way again as to be looking down. So we've got like corroborating evidence really that these are placed in deliberate positions. It's not just random. They're deliberately placed in such a way that they both look, if you look at them from this particular angle, they both look as if they're looking downwards. And that's exactly what they're doing. They look as if they're hanging there in the air, although they're flat. You know, you can see the eyes, you can see the nose, there's a little round mouth. You know, I've got okay, can you see the it's like a motif on the skull. It's very similar to the face. You can actually see where it's been carved into the rock, and it's wearing like a motif on the forehead with a round structure there. It's got this nose, like it's like a massive monolithic block. There's the mouth, and I know this sounds a bit daft, but it might even have like glasses on. See here, it's got like this is sticking out, and there's like a U-shaped structure here over this eye, and you can just see the edge here corresponding to this. Yeah, but the main thing I'm trying to get across is that it's looking down, and you can see that it's looking down. It's been perfectly designed to be looking downwards. You know, can you see that? Is that better? Can you see the eye? See the U-shaped structure here? Can you see it? It's massive, like a massive wall. And there's one eye, two eye. There's the nose, the mouth, and it's just unbelievable. And I think this particular face, to be honest with you, is as good as the famous face on Mars. It's as good as that, if not better, because this face was made perfect. By the way, it was never meant to be a fully formed human face, because the contour variety duality wouldn't work. It was made so that you'd only see half of the face, and it was never ever meant to be mirror imaged. That was just a desperate attempt to make a full human face from this artifact. People wanted it desperately to look like a full face with two eyes and two nostrils and teeth, but if you'd had have done that, you wouldn't have got the contour variety that this reflects. But I'll have to do that in another video. Okay, I'll go into it in a little bit more detail. But and I think this particular face is just as good, if not better, because we've got two eyes, a nose, and you know, it's perfect. I think it's just as good as the main face, but people don't seem to have picked up on it. And I'm sort of corroborating this with this, because both faces are looking down this way, and they both back each other up. Okay guys, yeah, there's the skull there looking down, and there's the other face looking down, but they are flat. It's like an optical illusion, as if they were hanging. And then there's the famous face on Mars. Yeah. Okay then guys, I hope you like this little video, and next time round I think we'll concentrate on the main face on Mars, and see what we can see in it. So thank you very much for watching. Please comment, And if you've got any questions about the video, please write them in the comment section, and if possible I'll try and answer them. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. See you soon.